Do you wish you were one of these enlightened beings like Eckhart Tolle, the power of now? Would you like to be present? Well, you're in luck because today's
Just
episode, we're
once.
going to be talking about how to be present. This is the Existential Stoic podcast. I'm Randy. That's Danny. What's going on, Danny?
What's up, Randy?
Hey, Danny, quick
Yes.
question. What percentage of your time would you say you actually spend in the present?
Oh my God. Percent. I mean, I'd
Ballpark.
like
Ballpark.
ballpark. I'd like to say like 50. Reality, probably more closer to like 25,
Yeah, that's what I was
20.
thinking. I was thinking maybe 20 if I'm focusing on
Yeah.
it.
I'm fairly optimistic, so I like to inflate my, you know, how I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. And it's one of these things that can be so beneficial, but it's always touted on social media everywhere, like, oh, the present, Zen, Eckhart Tolle, Deepak Chopra, Oprah,
Yeah.
all this stuff. And it's like, unless you're a freaking guru, you're a loser because you're not living in the present. And
Yeah, I know.
so,
Well, it's all that stuff is trying to make you feel bad, right? Because emotions sell. So it's really what they're
mhm,
trying to do. It's crazy.
yeah,
But it is funny because I know sometimes myself, like there are times where it's clear, like you're doing something, you're working, it's going great, and like or you're like enjoying your time doing something like I don't know, hiking or spending time with somebody, and it's like you're there, like there's no question about it. Then there's other times where it's like, it's like your mind's wandering and like and like you're kind of there, you're kind of not. It's hard to tell, It's a tough one. It's really hard to be
mm,
grant like in the present.
yeah. And it's interesting too, because when you're actually there, you're never questioning, like, how do I be more present? How can I be happy in my life? Why do these people? It's just like you're there.
That's the thing though, right? It's like when you are there, those questions that nag most of us that makes us anxious, depressed, they don't even come up. It's like they don't even arise to thought because they're not even a question.
Hmm. Probably
Yeah.
because you're just not thinking that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you're just happy.
So, yeah. So in that case, we're going to give three tips each for how to be present. I will start, and this is something that I've been telling myself a lot today, is leave the future for the future. This is just something
Mm.
where like I'm literally okay, one of my biggest problems in life is I am a constant planner. I'm trying to solve future problems today. And literally every single day, I'm trying to solve my whole entire life's problems today. And it's just not physically
But you
possible.
didn't figure
And
it
it
out
causes,
yesterday?
I know, right? And it causes me so much like mental turmoil because I'm trying to do something that's impossible, as
Yeah.
opposed to just, you know what? Most of this stuff is never going to happen anyways, especially like all the bad stuff that I imagine. Most of that's never going to happen anyways. And then when it does, I'll handle it when I get there.
Yeah. You gotta leave tomorrow's problems for the tomorrow's you, you know?
Hmm.
Because you'll be in the right context, situation, and place to handle those problems and to know what they are. It is
Yeah.
funny. Like I think planning, there is planning is great. Like planning is very helpful. It's great to have like a roadmap of where you're going. It can be very helpful to keep yourself like, on course. It can also be really detrimental because there's the flip side where you over plan or over stress about planning, as if you can actually dictate what's going to happen. Like I think that's the thing people forget. It's one thing to have like a roadmap. It's another thing to try and, plan out every step and the destination exactly as it's going to happen because you just don't know what's going to happen. And I
Hmm.
think, but it's one of those things that's like really hard when when you're used to it is how do you stop doing that? How do you stop yourself from doing that, right? Trying to plan everything.
Hmm. What's worked for me is listening to the book by Dale Carnegie, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living.
Yeah. Well, that's just it
That's-
though, because you're not really living, right? You're not in the present. You're somewhere else all the time. Yeah,
Yep.
that's a good one. Gotta stop that. My first one, and this is something I've been thinking about a lot too, which is don't rush and slow down. Like I think one I've noticed with myself, like one of the reasons all the times that I'm not present, I'm rushing. And what I mean by that is like I feel like I have something important I gotta get done. I gotta get to that goal. I gotta, get this thing knocked out now because the sooner I get it knocked out, the next I can move on to the next phase, like that kind of thinking, which I think is similar to like trying to plan out your whole life in several ways. Like I'm moving essentially too fast for the day. And then I
Mm.
start feeling like I'm not getting things done, like I'm a failure. But if I just step back and slow down and look at it, I can look at all I've gotten done. I can look at all the things I did. I can actually focus on what I'm doing, and things actually go a lot better, you know?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great one because I get caught in that all the time where I'm trying to do way too much stuff, and I'm getting on my own case because because it's actually takes time to learn
Yeah.
things, you know?
Because in reality, yeah, there's gonna be a time that you can't get around the time. It's just there. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, but that's a great one. So my next one, how to be present, is put down your damn phone.
yeah,
That's like, oh my gosh, today I was walking and literally there was a bottleneck because people in both directions were just looking at their phones and just stopping. And as opposed to actually looking up from their phone and navigating around. And oh my gosh, like every day I have these I have this
smashing out
rage,
people's.
like smash their phone, shove them out of the way, like just smack them upside the head, be like, dude, look up, like, hello, you're in the world.
Live your
And
life. Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my gosh. But then I'm like, oh no, that's just me wanting to like download my worldview on everybody else. Uh,
yeah. But sometimes it might be. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I almost said,
but it would be
but
really fun to
yeah,
smack them upside the head and just bash their phone, be like, fumble.
yeah. Oops.
Yeah.
It's a good one though because I think, look, if you everybody should know this. I mean, like, there's a lot of psychology behind these apps and stuff that get us hooked on them. And I mean, I know even myself, I don't use social media really at all, but I even get caught up sometimes. Like I'll look up something on like say YouTube or something, and next thing I know, like 10 minutes goes by, and you don't even realize it. Like you just zone out because it's that's what they're made to do. And like I always
Mhm.
catch myself quickly, but like I know so many people who just sit there just like, and it's just
Mhm.
like for hours, and it just time just goes by and you haven't done anything. So yeah, get rid of the stupid phone for a little while, and actually, it's not helping you be present.
I was thinking today because there's like so many people when they're walking or when they're driving, they're on their phone. And I'm like, are these people so busy that the only time they have to
Nope.
spend on their phone is when they're walking or driving? And it's like, nah, they're just a freaking addict.
Yeah. Dude, I drove the other day, someone stopped at a light, like that turned green, and I went around them and he had YouTube on his phone, mounted on this thing. I was like, that is so unsafe. First of all, you're not moving. Second of all, you're
Hmm.
gonna kill someone. Like it's just crazy.
Hmm.
Uh, was that your second one?
That was my second one. Put
My
down your
second,
damn phone.
it's a good one. My second one for how to stay present is keep your thoughts grounded. And I think this actually goes well with that one, which is like, you know, and grounded in the sense that we're talking about, like we try to get things done too fast. We try to do things too quickly. We also over exaggerate our self-importance, how important the things are we're doing. And it's important sometimes just to take a step back and ask yourself, like, is this work really, does it really matter that much? Should I really be sacrificing my time with my family for doing this busy work? Should I really be like, you know, not engaged with the people around me and just on my phone, trying to ground yourself into reality and think about like, what am I actually doing? Why am I actually here? What actually matters? Keeping those like values, I think present can really help.
That is a great one, figuring out what's important to you. And it's almost like you knew what my third one is because you provided the perfect segue by saying,
Nice.
should I sacrifice the present for spending time with my family? My third one is don't wait for the future to be happy. And I speak of this one from experience. My mental model up until about 2 months ago was sacrifice now for some future. Be miserable now because in the future you'll be happy. And it just doesn't work because if you're always miserable, the future never comes. Like we think that we'll wait and see what the future brings, but the future never brings anything. The only time we can ever experience anything is right here, right now. It's always right here, right now. So if you have some illusion that you're going to be happy in the future and you're not happy now, that's all that it is an illusion. And oftentimes we have a really bad mental model that says like I'll be happy when this happens, or a desire is a contract we make with ourselves to be miserable until we get the thing of our desire. So like we have all these really bad ways of going about that keep us from happiness when really all anybody wants is happiness, and it's possible to have it now.
You know what's funny? It's like that faulty mental model and stuff. It's like there's part of it that's like probably like it's a helpful self-preservation thing. Like I know I have to do some hard stuff now to gain the skills that I need to do things that I want to do later or be good at them. Like that's always true. But then we make the mistake of then taking that further and saying like, I can't be happy until X, or I won't be happy until I get Y. And so, like, yeah, we put our happiness, we make our happiness contingent on external things, on things in the future, and it's never going to come. You're never going to be happy then. You're always going
Hmm.
to be waiting for it or trying to get the next thing or putting another condition on it to make it better, right? Like you might get the thing that you want, and then you're like, well, I'll be happy when I get the Lamborghini or something, whatever, something stupid. And like you just keep putting it outside further away and you'll be miserable. So really cool.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like the fastest way to be miserable is just compare yourself to other people.
Yep.
And as soon, yeah, there you go.
Okay, social media too, right?
Hmm.
My last one for how to be present is gratitude. And I think this one works really well with what you're saying too. Like looking around yourself, being grateful for the people you have in your life, the things that you're proud of, and this is also like we talked about self-comparisons, like comparing yourself to your past self to look at like why you're grateful for the present now. It's a good way to kind of help you just see like present's not that bad. I like the present, there's things going on here that I worked for, that I wanted, and now I have them. So I think that's a really helpful one as well.
Yeah, that's a great way to close it out, letting people know how to be present in a few simple tips, because guess what?
Yeah.
It's all you've got, even though we spend all our time elsewhere.
Yeah,
So,
isn't it weird?
yeah. So if you did enjoy this episode, make sure to like, share, subscribe. This is the Existential Stoic Podcast. I'm Randy. That's Danny. I'll see you later, Danny.
Later, Randy.